It trips me out for sure. Oh, we got the dog barking, reminds me of home. Okay, we got Jasmine. All right. Okay, let's go ahead and get started as everybody comes in. And I just wanted to say to you, when we talk about scheduling a lot, right? Do we ever talk about scheduling? Okay. Like if it's not in your. I'm like, wow, I guess you guys really don't pay attention. I'm like, what? Yeah, so we always talk about your scheduling. Now, if it's not in your schedule, it doesn't exist. So we always got to put, have to put things in there, so on and so forth. And then I got a reminder today of what I don't put in my schedule. Oh, I love your purse. That's great. Okay, about what to make sure that you put in your schedule is allowing time for surprises, allowing time for the unexpected, right? Because I had it unexpected this morning, because you think you're like, oh, I got my day planned out, I know exactly when I'm going to be done with stuff, and then boom, some stuff happened. I'm like, well, that totally threw me off already, and the day is just starting, right? So remember, as I got reminded today, I'm reminding you all to make sure that you plan your day for the unexpected, right? You can plan an extra hour here just in case stuff happens or because you all know I like to do back to back to back, which is never probably that efficient, because if the very first appointment is late, then the rest of your day is screwed up, and then you might have to cancel, so on and so forth. So really, as a reminder, plan for the unexpected. What do you think? All right, cool. Does anybody have any experiences with that ever, or does it just happen to me?
All the time.
Okay, thank you.
Especially the computer. They're all so.
Just in case Tom Brady calls, and
Yeah,
then I'm gonna get rid of the rest of the day.
I know. So anyway, I'm gonna tell you about my experience over the weekend. Okay, motivational minute. Who wants to tear land?
All right, try to be a rainbow in someone else's cloud. Maya Angelou.
Yes. Yes. So try to be a rainbow in someone else's cloud. What does that mean to you?
That means to be supportive and be there for the people in your life and clients. Y'all go through tough times, so be supportive.
Yeah. And it can be even to a stranger, right? Like, have you ever been in I think I've told you guys this story. I do it sometimes at the grocery store. I know we don't go to the grocery store very often anymore, but sometimes when we're there, like I'll get next to someone and I'll race them, down the aisle. Like, hey, you want to race? And they'll look at me like you're insane, right? But just say hi. But sometimes just saying hi, or even just holding the door open, or just common courtesy stuff, right? Just makes someone day. Mentioned on Morning Mindset, I had someone text me yesterday, and they're just like, hey, I'm just thinking about you. I'm like, oh, just that little text, just switch things around. It doesn't help. It helps it kind of cute too, but right? No, so but just having a little text that someone's thinking about you makes a difference.
You know what else always surprises me? When somebody lets you in when you're driving. It's like, that makes my day, because it's so rare around here.
It is rare, especially in the Calabasas Commons parking lot.
Oh,
I hate going through that parking lot. Does anybody have the same experience, or is it just me?
no, every time you go, it's a nightmare.
It's just like, okay. So, but yes, it makes a difference. Like, someone slowed down to let me in the freeway. I'm
It's like, what?
wow, I need to Venmo you some money. So yes, try to be a rainbow in someone else's cloud, because we never know what people are going through. And this is going to be a segue into what I'm going to be talking to you guys about today regarding your database, aka data bank, right? And it's about, it doesn't have to be like, hey, are you gonna buy sell with me? It's just about making their day and having conversations with them. So there we go. Woo! Where's Jan? There you are. He's like, I don't really care. I wanted my next one already. Congrats on your first closing. That's awesome. So can you please share with everyone, how long you've been here, right? How long you've been in business and how you got it, so on and so forth.
Going on month 4.
That's awesome. And
That's it. That's it.
so how did you have to, so was it a buy, I know the answers, but no one else does. So was it a seller or a buyer?
Selling
Nice.
from the door knocking, from Eileen's script, just went to West Hills knocking on doors and someone said yes.
What did you do? Were you dumbfounded when they said yes?
I didn't even know what to do after.
Right, exactly. So then what did you say?
Just try to, be cool, but I just wanted to run back to my car. I just got all our information and set the meeting for Eileen to come and just make sure that everything was official.
Right. That's awesome. And then, so you put it on the market, how long did it take you from once you put it on the market to when it closed? I mean, when it, went into escrow?
Like 3 days?
Yeah.
3 days?
How many offers?
Just to.
2, yeah.
Hey, it just takes one,
Yeah.
right? So that's awesome. And just strictly from door knocking. So do you believe door knocking works?
I think so.
Yeah, and then also, what are the other things that you're doing? Because I see you in here all the time on the phone, right? So you're door knocking and
Door knocking, just driving around seeing like kind of houses that need love and sending them letters. Handwritten and cold calling people that have higher equity in their properties. And I think that's it.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so congratulations on your first closing. Okay, rumor has it that we have someone in here that just got a listing. And who is that?
That's all.
Hello.
Hello.
Me?
Yeah. I just got on your screen.
Congratulations. That's awesome. And how did you get that?
Open house, my very first open house. I've never met the person that actually gave me the open house. Anna with that Denise.
Oh, Ani,
She
yep.
gave me that open house, and that house was on the market for 2 months when I took that open house. So I knocked 300 doors, but the next neighbor is the person that I'm listing the house with.
Oh, nice.
She walked in and we had a conversation, and she's the only person I had that day.
Yep.
That day. So it was for like 2 hours, and she said, well, I'll be moving, just stay in touch. And I never pushed, just stayed in touch.
Yep.
So I'll communicate, and I just followed up, but never pushed.
Yeah.
Cause I knew I had her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she gave me that, you have me. So, yeah. We
yes,
just
hello.
listed.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations.
Yeah.
And just doing that, being intentional, right, about what you're doing. And it's all a numbers game, and you just never know, like, if it takes, and this is, for example, right, you're all supposed to be tracking your numbers to know, okay, how many people do I need to speak with before I get an appointment, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. So let's say the number's 100, right? You either can get the one that's gonna say yes at number 1, or at number 100, or somewhere in between. It's just a matter of consistently having those conversations. And you know what, one of the key words I heard from Sandra? Follow up.
I do follow up.
Follow up, follow up, follow up. Michael Couchette. How many times do you follow up? He's commercial, but it's still the same thing, having conversations, following up. How many times do you follow up with your database? And the people that are saying, giving you the cues that, yes, I'm interested, possibly.
I spend all day prospecting, buyers or sellers, all day, probably about 200 reach outs a day. But I follow up with each one 3 times, and that's 3 times once every week or 2 weeks. And then after the 3rd one, I'll probably go for a 4th, just to say fuck it. And then if nothing happens on the 4th one, I'll probably wait like 60 days, I'll hit them again.
Yep.
You know, until they tell me to fuck off, I'm there.
Yeah.
That's the right sort of.
Yep.
Follow up, follow back, follow through.
Yep, I mean, it's just a matter, how many times do you guys, yes, some of us impulse shop like, oh, okay, I need to get that, I need to get that, da, da, da. But there are sometimes, especially when it comes to big purchases, right? That you have to make it this, you know, you're just like, nah, let me evaluate it, let me figure the pros and cons, do I want to spend that much money? I mean, it's not like we're just going to a store and buying, you know, whatever, I can't think of an example, but whatever, right? This is an investment, right? So you just have to continue talking to people. So you lead generate, then you have to lead follow up. It's like, what comes first, the chicken or the egg, right? I don't know. I mean, we're not gonna have that conversation, but you have to follow up. If you're lead generating and not follow up, don't lead generate because it's pointless. Right? So you can't have one without the other. And then, and it's interesting because Doug, and I've shared this with you guys before, Doug Pitts has always said, can you imagine if our resi agents hit the phones and made all the contacts like commercial agents do? Like, how many contacts do you guys make on a daily basis, Michael?
I mean, contact today.
Yeah.
Oh, it's interesting. We're saying on average, we reach out to probably 200, 250 employees a day. And then we'll probably get a 10 to 15% conversion of a response. And once you respond to us, you're fucked, because now we don't,
Yeah.
you're going to harass you for years to come, regardless if you tell us about it.
Yeah.
You will get an email from us for 6 months. Even if you told us no, we're gonna send you what you guys call it CMA, we call it an FUR. And we'll be like out of the blue, like, hey, here you go, this is what we wanted to keep you up to date, you know, and they'll probably, if we were reaching out to them on the sales side, like we want them to sell, we'll reach out to them 4 months or 5 months later, it'll be like, hey, what's your buyer criteria? The exact opposite side. So we're producing probably 20 to 30 new prospects per day, every day, 5 days a week.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing. And you know one thing, what did you notice about him? Well, other than the F word. Right.
And he had a bad pocket.
Well, yeah, he knows his numbers. Right? I know whatever tickles your fancy when it comes to, well, I just build relationships. Well, count how many relationships you have. Right? You guys and gals need to know your numbers. So you know predictability to your business. And then when we do business planning, which is just around the corner, I mean, we're ramping up for 2024, right? We're working on fourth quarter business. So keep that in mind because we're always a 90-day cycle, so on and so forth. So just continue, really just track your numbers so we have predictability. You know what to expect in your business and you have predictability, right? So with that said, we'll keep continuing to go on. So thank you all for sharing. And really take some lessons other than the F word from Mikey, right? Know your numbers, talk to as many people as you can on a daily basis.
That's piece of advice, be resilient, doesn't matter. Right, just be resilient, fuck it.
Yeah, and stop judging yourself. Right? Stop judging yourself. Don't sit there or compare yourself to other people. We're all unique, we're all different, we all go about it a different way, we all have different types of conversations, so on and so forth. The people that want to do business with you will do business with you. Okay, there's enough. You're like, Stephanie, there's not enough to go around. Yes, there's enough to go around, you just have to find your market share, right? So happy birthday to the July babies, woohoo! Yay. Okay. Let's see. So Rich will be joining us today, but what's today? Oh, today's Tuesday. So make sure that you join his class tomorrow at 4 o'clock via Zoom. Remember, I can't tell you it's mandatory, but please, it's almost mandatory to always be on his class. There are only 2 of them. Only 2 of them a month. Okay, that's 2 hours to dedicate your time to make sure that you understand the contracts or whatever he's got going on, the COP and SPRP.
Stuff. You can also say that they're YouTube, so something like, I just went on something this last weekend that I was on a year ago, and it was It's still current, still to date, but it's really, and it's interesting that many people go on there, because I'll look at YouTube and there's like 2 people looked at it.
Yeah.
So it's a valuable source for everybody about any subject that we have in the office or anything you want to know, please check that out.
Yeah, thank you for that reminder. Yeah, because we plug all our, the recordings onto our YouTube channel. Okay, we have anniversary babies. Man, Cherie's been here 13, Joseph at 8, Michelle 8, Kevin 7. All right. Okay. Ricky 6, Donna 6. Lena, let's see, Lester's already been with us 3 years. Wow, and Laura and Kaylin and Stephen Harvey. So congratulations, we appreciate each and every one of you. Okay, Mega Agent Camp, Austin, Texas. Oh my God, I got a jury summons yesterday for August 14th.
Move it. Move it, go online. Move it.
I'm like, really? Okay. I'm in Texas and I'm not gonna go to jury duty, sorry. What can they can,
No, you just move it.
Yeah.
well, no, but if you don't show, then they can arrest you or something, or
They
what?
tried to arrest me in New York. They literally sent like a thing to my house that said you can put out a warrant for your arrest. And I'm like, I'm in California. I had to fly out there to deal with it.
So just a little trip, move it to the week between Christmas and first of the year, there's not gonna be any trials. You don't have to
Oh, that's smart.
call in every day. Of course, now everybody's. gonna do
Yeah, what's going on with these Calabasas people?
that.
Yeah, so Mega Agent Camp, I know there's a handful of us going, so if you are attending, please make sure that you let me know.
I'm going.
So then you can be, I want to make sure that we get the invite to you. We're going to be having our Forward Living dinner that Tuesday night, August 15th at Dean's Steakhouse in the JW Marriott downtown. So that's going to be spectacular. Look at this, congratulations. Our May 2023 closed over 2 million is Doug, Eileen, where's Eileen? Woo! Eileen, Lee Black, Team Sell It, the Lose Group, Samantha Mitchell, and Hirsch and Jarrett. So congratulations. And then Christine's gonna love the next slide. Woo! Closed over 2 million in June last month. So Larry, Calmine, Team Sell It, Jordan Davies, Galouz, Mikey, Jeff, Lando, Denise Marks Group, Susie, Christine Wheeler, and Linda Watkins. So congratulations to all your hard work and contribution. Okay, so want to welcome to our family, Calabasas family, since our last team meeting. Our obtaining world-class talent has definitely ramped up. So we have Teresa, Angel, Mary, Sean, Angelica, and Bareed. Bareed. Thank you. All right, so congratulations. You guys are so enthusiastic. All right, Emilio, woo, congratulations. Look at you kicking ass. Woohoo, you capped. So enjoy your 100% commission. That's what it's all about here with our lovely economic model at KW, is that you get to keep, your cost of sales is always the same, right? You get to keep 100% after you cap. And then Jeff Lando also capped. Woo-hoo! So congratulations, Mr. Lando. All right, so we have August 5th, our family picnic, again, mega camp, our Bahamas trip on the 14th to the 20th, and our 14th December holiday party. We are taking, for those of you interested in the Bahamas, we're making all the deposits right now, so please inquire within. And then also on the family picnic, what time does it start? 10:30. 10:30? Okay, cool. So if you guys want, I'm sure it's still gonna be hot. I don't know, who knows? But if you guys have EZFs, we have some EZFs that will be there, but if you want to bring your own little umbrella and your own shedizzle, you're more than welcome to do so. What? Oh, that's right. You guys call them pop-ups. Is that what it's called?
I don't know, if they're called canopies.
Canopies? You know what? You guys know what I'm talking about. So whatever you call it,
Shade stuff.
it's all good. Okay, tomorrow, Tech Talk with Sonia. Tomorrow night at 5, and she's back. And then also, I just found out that our regional tech trainer is doing trainings as well. So I just got their information, so we'll be blasting that out so you can plug into that as well. Where's Lisa Donovan? Come here, sunshine. Come say hello. Let them see your beautiful face. If you have any tips or tricks or updates. Hi. Hi. No. Miss Lisa Donovan.
Hi, it's been exciting here in escrow. We are pumping out escrows, closing escrows. It's great here. I also have another office and it's not so great. And I'm noticing the higher dollars, the area that you guys are in, people are buying and selling. I met with a buyer this morning. And we're getting ready to close escrow tomorrow and I signed the loan docs. And they were talking, I said, oh, are you guys selling this house too? Because I didn't see it for sale. And they said, no, we didn't qualify for a new home, but we decided to keep this house and rent it because their mortgage payment was on that. And they get to use that as more money for them to buy another house. So now they're gonna own 2, which they didn't think was possible for them. And so just these little things, if you talk to your lenders, talk to your agents, just educate your buyers that there's more that can be done to buy a nicer house instead of somebody just saying you don't qualify, because they didn't qualify at first. And then with another property as income, they're gonna qualify because their mortgage payment is $3,300. They can rent their house now for about 52. So, and now they qualify for over $1 million home. So those are just things that I'm seeing a lot of creative financing right now because of how the lenders are. But it's exciting here. We are really pumping them out. We're really doing really great, better than our expectations. So I'm really excited to be here. If you guys have questions, anything, come by, see me, see Brian, he's amazing. And that's that.
Thank you.
And if you guys have any questions on the Bahama trip, I'm kind of in charge of it. So just come by, text me, call me, let me know, and I will answer whatever I can for you. And if I don't have an answer, I'll find it for you. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm super excited, how well Lisa and Brian, the Calabasas escrow is doing. And that's obviously attributed to them doing a great job, but to you guys giving them a chance, right? And utilizing their services. And like I said, it's a direct reflection on your support for the office, and we really, really appreciate it. So thank you, thank you. All right, so Jasmine and Alan, it's safety committee time.
I'm here. I gotta make it wide
Are
so
you
I
there?
can see it. Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Hold on. Okay, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Basically, this month's safety tip is focusing on our mental health. With so much going on in our lives, with families, business, all of it, the importance of taking time out and recognizing when you need to take a moment and helping yourself first, so then you can turn around and be there to help others. Basically, that's the safety tip of the month. We're all running crazy, sometimes running and not hitting the goal that we're trying to hit necessarily when we want to hit it. And it's important to realize when we're in a state that we need to take a pause and do something for ourselves, for our mental health. That's it. Alan, anything?
Nailed it on the head there. Just take care of ourselves and take care of others, and everything else will fall in place. That's it.
That's it.
Seriously. It's I don't know how much else you can really say about our mental health issues and
Yeah.
Our safety for ourselves always. And once you do it, just seems to all go into place. Everything just kind of falls in place. So best of luck to you on your mental health. And if you need help, you should seek a professional. Seriously. It's not embarrassing. Just do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you, Jasmine. Thank you, Ellen.
Thank you, Jasmine.
Yay. Yeah, so really, I mean, like you said, safety is for, you know, your mental health, right? And physically, we know, it's not like I want, you know, but it's reality. I mean, we're seeing more and more stuff happen. So one of the things that my dad always told me every time I left him, right, he said, be aware, said it all the time. So I'm gonna take on that tradition, right? Just always be aware, check your surroundings. I mean, okay, I'll just try to tell you because it kind of tripped me out a little bit. I always go to the Vaughn on Agora Road in Westlake. Someone was held up during the day, middle of the day by knife point. Right? And it's just like, what the? Right? It's just frustrating, but we can't ignore it. Right? We can't ignore that, you know, the people are, you know, that we just have to be careful. Right? So always be cognizant. Because Eileen said it to me, it scared me a gazillion times. And it's because I'm not paying attention, you know, get out of the car, do whatever, I'm just like, in my own private, I know. So always just be cognizant of your surroundings, right? So just always be aware. And then when it comes to your mental health, you know, just either, you know, listen to your podcast, have conversations. You know, you can always reach out to me, hey, Steph, I just need to like have a conversation, but you know, and sometimes just having a quick 10-15 minute, just like release of maybe, you know, whatever, it makes you feel better. Right. And then if you're also feeling like you're hitting a wall, it's like, hey, I've been working a gazillion times. I mean, to be honest, I mean, that's why I went on my vacation in June. I was like, okay, my patience is like this. Like, I'm a very, very patient person, but I could tell that it was shortening, my fuse was shortening a little bit, and so, you know, so it's like, okay, I just need to step away for a hot minute and just take care of me for a second, right? And it's okay, we all need it. We're not superhuman, we're human, right? So we just do what we do, and I'm having a lot of conversations with people. It's like, you have to take care of yourself first to be able to take care of everybody else. That's emotionally, physically, mentally, financially, so on and so forth, right? So if you ever are just getting tripped up, sometimes you just may need just an afternoon, right? It's okay. You don't judge yourself. You don't be critical on yourself. Just, you know, when you need a little space, right? You know, when you need a little space. So if you ever need any assistance on recognizing that or talking through that, I've gone through so much stuff in my life that I'm here to help. And I bet you I can share some things with you to help you go through it.
Steph, one last thing.
Yes, Ellen.
It's really important, if you can do it, at least take one day off a week. Nobody you know, no doctors, no lawyers, no guy who runs a restaurant works there 7 days a week. Everybody takes a day off. It's nothing to be sad about when you're at home worrying about your business or your business. Oh, I should be with my family. Take a day off. You need it. You need the break. You'll burn out otherwise, most likely. And it really needs to go down to the beach, go to the park, spend it with your family, be by yourself, whatever it is you need. It's really something that will help you very much. And if you can, try to get a little extra sleep in too. That's about it.
Yep. Thank you. You know, it's interesting. I was gonna share this, but I went and bought the Oura ring, right? I was gonna get an Apple Watch, but you guys know I can't see it really. And I'm like, okay, but I want to figure out like what's going on with my sleep, because I wake up tired. Like, for example, so I checked my sleep this morning. My heart rate didn't go down to where I was restful until 4 a.m. They're just like, oh, you should take today off because you've got really no rest, true rest until 4 o'clock or after, right? So there could be different factors in that. The night before I was good, but the last night, but it was interesting. It's like, oh, okay, you know, having that knowledge, and I learned that too from remember I told some of you about Rob Dearden, right? There's that podcast with Ed Milet and Rob Dearden. And one of the things that he does first thing in the morning is he checks his health. Right? He checks, okay, what was my sleep like? What's my oxygen like? Da, 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 and so on and so forth. Because you don't know what, just like with your business, it's the same with your health. You don't know what to fix, or you don't know where you're at. You always have to know where you're at, what the starting point is. And then maybe what modification. So, hey, maybe, go to bed earlier, right? Maybe that's a solution or whatever. But it's interesting if you start tracking some of your vitals and stuff like that, then one, it gives you an understanding of where you are physically and mentally, so on and so forth, to help you be at your optimal level of performance always. Make sense? So I just thought I would share that. So thanks, Alan. Okay, Miss Cindy Tanzen, come on down.
Okay, I got a bunch of miscellaneous kind of. First thing I want to talk about is condos. We've been noticing that we're having more issues with condos of late than we have been. So just kind of be aware of it if you're, whether you're on the buy side or the sell side. And it's kind of, well, I was just getting there. So it's kind of a little all over the place, but primarily related to like insurance and reserves and special assessments. So the insurance rates are going up at a lot of these condos, and they're passing that along to the buyers or the homeowners. And then if that's an unexpected surprise, that might throw off our debt ratios, and or they might find that they're uninsured, or they might find out that they're under reserved. And those are the kinds of things that we are concerned about. And also, if somebody's putting a low down payment, then they're going to be doing a full review of the condo. If they're putting 20% or more, it won't be, it's usually an easy, quick one, but if it's a low down payment, be even more mindful. And so my advice to you on either side of the transaction is just make sure that you ask the condo questions right up front and early on. So, and make sure that your lender is on board, that they're collecting. So I had on one of my recent transactions, it was a condo and somebody I hadn't worked with before, not an agent. And we had a conversation before he put in his offer. He said, what can I do on the contingencies? And I said, well, if you want to shorten the appraisal contingency or even waive it, that's okay, because we've got our loan, we'll be all right. So he comes to me, he says, and I'm like, yay. And then he said, I'm looking at the document and I said, it says here there's no loan contingency. And he said, yeah, that's what you said. And I said, no, that's not what I said. So, just let that be a lesson too. You never waive the loan contingency ever. So I said, okay, we'll just have to make it work. Well, sure enough, we get all the way through and the only problem we're having is the condo. And the listing side, we were late getting the condo docs and way past what even normal contingency should be. The listing agent kept saying, but your client waived the loan contingency, it doesn't matter. And I said, yeah, but they didn't realize that the condo approval is going to depend on, whether or not the loan gets approved. So it's not even, they should never have waived that loan contingency anyway. Luckily, it all worked out, but it was all very last minute and it was only the condo that was a problem. So just FYI.
That's another note, HOA documents is kind of its own little separate thing. You can, even if you remove your buyer's contingency, if you don't have the HOA documents yet, remove buyer's contingency except HOA documents. And then you'll still get okay.
And I used to manage HOAs, and that's the last thing we did. We put that at the bottom of our inbox. To get that information back.
Yeah, well, it's not an
It drive you crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't want to give it to you advance, unless you've got a homeowner that's on top of that stuff that give you all that information.
Yeah. And another thing that buyers don't understand too is that whenever we hit them up to pay for the condo docs, used to be a time when you can get condo docs for free, never
It's a
is.
business now.
The buyer now has to pay for the condo docs, and they always say, but escrow gave us all the condo docs, we can give you anything you need. Nope. I don't know what escrow's giving you, but it ain't what we need. You know, I don't care about bylaws, for example, you know, so, yeah, that by I. Okay, so what's hot and what's not? I would say that things of interest to both buyers and sellers is the grant program. Was 25,000, it's now 15,000, but it's paying for closing costs in, for buyers who qualify. There's an income qualification, but it's pretty generous. And there's also a property qualification, but that's pretty generous as well. So that has to be in an area that has 50% or more minority ownership. So that's most of LA. Other than that, things that are very popular now are any form of HELOC and also reverse mortgages. It's good for you to know that on HELOCs, you know, as we kill a lot of programs and rates make it tougher for us to do business, I find lenders get very creative and start stretching out what it is that they can do. So now we're doing second mortgages with bank statements and no income docs, just bank statements. So that's a whole new thing. So FYI, it's for somebody you know who's interested. We're also doing DSCR loans that are no ratio. So DSCR loans are the ones that where you buy an investment property, you don't have to have income docs. All you have to do in the past, it was all you need is that the gross rents on the new property are going to cover the housing expenses. But since housing expenses with rates have gone up, that became harder and harder to do. So now with this no ratio DSCR, that means we don't care if the housing payment is covered or not. So we just look at, you're getting gross rents, you got a housing payment, and based on that, they're going to allow us a certain amount of down payment and debt ratio. Also on the creative side, I know I've sent emails out about this, but I know a lot of people don't read emails. So the trailing residence program, on that one, if you have somebody who wants to buy a new home and has an existing home, if they have at least 70% loan to value of 30% equity in their house that they're departing, then with this program, we won't count that debt against them. So you can keep that house if you want, you can sell that house if you want. If it's listed for sale, it's, you know, we won't count the debt. So we'll just debt you on the new home that you're purchasing. That's a huge help for people.
Even if you keep it.
Yeah,
Like you don't have to.
do.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, if there's 30%. And then the last piece of info, again, I did a video on this one, so I know a lot of people didn't see it, but it's an update in the credit space. It's called the No Surprises Act, which when I saw it, I was like very surprised. But apparently now.
I saw your thing.
Oh, thank you. Apparently now, if you are not allowed to have collections reported of $500 or under 500, up to $500 on your credit report. So it will not be reported. If it is already, you need to get it expunged. If it's over $500, you have a year before they can report it, 3 years from your last doctor's visit before they can report you. And then if at any point you pay that, then that report has to get expunged. So it's much better.
Specific to medical, right?
All related to medical, yeah. And that's all for you folks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Cindy. All right, hey, we have Kevin and Dave from My NHD. Woo! Come on down.
Morning.
Morning.
I am Kevin. I'm Dave. And this is Dave. This is the Kevin and Dave show. So I've worked with MyNHD for a long time. And I'm really thrilled to announce that starting today, you have a heavyweight caliber NHD knowledge champion here in Dave Reisman. He's got 12 years of NHD experience under his belt. And our company, MyHD, is thrilled to have him on board. And from this moment going forward, he is here to support all of you and your office in any way that he can. So don't hesitate to ask him questions, don't hesitate to get him involved. And we're so thankful for the opportunity that we have to be in this office. And we really want to try to be here for you the way you want us to be here, okay? So without further ado, Dave Reisman.
Well, thank you. Well, I have about 45, 50 minutes. Only a minute. Congratulations on your new listing.
Thank you.
That's a good segue for me to tell you that when you do get a listing, we highly recommend that you get your NHD report up front. If the property doesn't close, we don't charge you for that report. But the NHD report is so important. Could mean the difference between someone purchasing a property and not purchasing it. You talked about the unexpected. I have a quote that I always close with, and I'm closing now. Until there is a problem, there is no problem. So avoid those problems, avoid the unexpected, and choose wisely. So we thank you for choosing my NHD for your next natural hazard disclosure report. Thank you all.
Right, thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. Appreciate it.
Okay, awesome. That, oops. What do we have next here? Okay, so before we go into our database portion, so this will be a good segue, but Linda and Lexi will be doing a class at 11:30 after today for managing and growing your sphere of influence ideas and best practices workshop. Ladies, did you want to say anything special about your class?
No, it's just that we want it to be a workshop, so we want to engage everyone.
Oh,
with activities, we want to share, information, because we all have different ways. And there's no right or wrong way to manage and to ask your sphere of influence for business. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's pretty much it. Whatever you said.
All right, great. Yeah, no, I appreciate you ladies doing the class very much so. Okay, awesome. So make sure you stay after for that. Okay, so go back. Okay, so I mentioned earlier, that the first quote, right, regarding, bringing some sunshine in someone's cloud, and that's really about talking to your database. So really today is all about, including the class. Hey, how can we better communicate with our sphere? How can we reach out to them? What are systems? So as you all know, everything in real estate and everything Keller Williams is systematized, right? And they do that one, so you guys don't have to think about it. You have the systems in place and you know what you do during the seasons, if you will, in your business. Louisa, I see your head going like this, being all sassy, talking. I got the best thing, that was the best timing of anything this whole year.
Here's she talk all the time, she doesn't care about your mom talk.
Yeah, that's 100% of the time. Okay. Okay, that was really fun. Okay, so we do have seasons, right, of your data bank, right? So, oh,
Sorry.
yes, I haven't even started yet. You're like, wait, can I go?
Here's my scratch.
Okay, so right now, okay, did you guys know what happens next week? It's August. It's August, which really means when September hits, the holidays are here. Like, holy hell, right? So really, this isn't part of it, but really more than ever, you guys need to figure out what days you're working. Okay, because you know what happens as soon as October hits, you guys kind of start slowing down, some of you, not everybody, right? And then, then all of a sudden it's a Thanksgiving, and then there's Hanukkah, it's Christmas, it's a little bit of everything. So your days in the last quarter, or you're probably gonna work less. So if you still want to nail your goals, you got to really just look at and just say, hey, you know what? Realistically, there are so many work days left, but I'm only going to work half those. Or there, it doesn't matter what the number is. So then you know how to adjust on what you have to do on the days that you're actually working, right? Okay, so right now, as far as August 1st to October 31st, we call it the fall cleanup in your database. Okay, the fall cleanup, it gives you 3 months to do that. So really you decide what information you want to have on each person in your database. Okay, so obviously the must-haves are phone, email, their email address and their physical address. Right, so you need.
Sorry. You're fantastic.
And then nice to have, right, are birthdays. Their home anniversary, right? Their home anniversary and Ford, right? We all remember what Ford is: family, occupation, recreation, dreams. So whatever, when you're having conversations with them, put the notes in command for that contact, right? So you want to be able to say, okay, this is the information that I want for each person. So figure out where the holes are in the information in your data bank, right? So, gosh, do I have their address? Do I not have their birthday? Whatever the case may be. And then create a list of everyone that should be in your database but isn't. Right? Put everyone in there, right? Create a list of everyone that should be in there. Not the people, because are there people that aren't in your database that are like, I don't know if I want to call them. I don't think I'm going to call them. So I'm just going to leave them off the list. In that voice too, right? So put it there, right? Unless you really truly don't want to do business with them, right? Because you get to decide that too. But create a list of everyone. And did you hear what Mikey said too? How many people does he add in his database every day? Yeah, so he's adding people all the time, right? Your database isn't to be stagnant or static, it's to grow. So whatever that number is, I grow my database by 1 person a day or 2 or whatever the case may be, but you always want to know who you need to be adding. So October 1st to August 1st, October 31st is your cleanup. So you're going through, and like I said, it's 3 months. It's not where, a lot of times like personalities like myself and Christine's or what, we want it to be done right now, and then we get frustrated that it's not done right now, and then we are like, I don't want to do it, or we get consumed, we're like, oh, I'm just gonna focus on that, I'm not gonna focus on anything else, or your business, whatever, right? So you put it in your schedule, because remember, if it's not in your schedule, it doesn't exist. So put 30 minutes or whatever to say, hey, I'm gonna work on my database, I'm gonna go check and make sure I have this, that, and the other thing in there. So from now until the end of October, you're doing your cleanup, okay? Then November 1st to February 28th is the winter of renewal. Okay, the winter of renewal. So you get to renew all your relationships that you may not have been purposeful about maintaining over the course of the year, right? And don't be afraid to call people. I mean, I know what it's like. There's some people, past clients of mine that I haven't reached out to. I'm like, oh, I haven't reached out to them. I'm embarrassed. I'm like, the shit, all those low vibrating emotions or whatever. And then it's just like, hey, you know what? Call them, and that's not good. Just saying, hey, I've been thinking about you. I came across your name. I'm so sorry. I haven't reached out. I hope hope the family's good. Whatever, and start the conversation. It's okay. Life happens, right? So you get to call them. And then why do we have the winter of renewal, November 1st, February 28th? Because this is the end of the year where there are natural touch points, right? Natural touch points to have those conversations. We have the Christmas, and like I said, all the holidays, so on and so forth. So New Year's is one time of the year that you can use as the talking point to get in conversation with everyone. I can't remember which you know, someone instead of sending out the holiday cards, like Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas and stuff, they send out cards for Thanksgiving instead, or Happy New Year's, right? Because then they're, it's unique to them versus getting lost in the shuffle with all the other holiday cards. So really just say, okay, you know what, for these people, I'm gonna do it then, but you know, we have November 1st to February 28th to be able to do that. And this is also the time of year when no one thinks twice about receiving a gift or a card. Right, so it's a natural flow of what's happening there. So the winter of renewal. So March 1st then to July 31st is the spring summer explosion, right? So you're connecting with the people in the fall cleanup, getting all their information, so on and so forth, right? Then you're doing the winter of renewal, like, hey, you know, whatever is happening, you know, between those timeframes, November 1st to end of February. And then now March 1st, just because after you've reconnected, this is the buying and selling season for real estate, right? So you've been maintaining those relationships, having different touch points, right? Now you hustle hard and collect on the transactions of everything that you've been working on for the last year, right? So that's the Keller Williams system of working your sphere. Because as we know, the number one way people are getting business, right, in real estate is from their sphere of influence. That's why Linda and Lexi are doing the class today to help get you ramped up for that, it's not a new invention, right? And we all know statistically that 6% of the people in your data bank, right, are going to be making some kind of move. Right, and then you have your raving fans. So Christine, not to put you on the spot. So, I mean, you have a lot of raving fans who refer you, and then you have that one in particular that hasn't even done a transaction with you.
Other than Elise.
Yeah,
Yeah, and you know, I would say when we were talking, in my mind, I went, I think I'm 99% sphere.
Yeah.
Like all my deals are that.
yeah,
So.
because you got some of them from Op City, but now they're her sphere, and she's,
I'm not even counting those people. I'm not even counting that for in this recently, but yes. I mean, when I started for sure.
Yeah.
But you know, like you were saying, that one client that was a lease client, I represented the landlord, he came up as Zillow or somewhere. And I got him, we got a connection, he was my son's age, we have cars, so we kind of built that. And he's given me 1.4, a 1.9, a 1.3. And now I just closed that 1.3 and their daughter's going to now. And he hasn't even bought yet. So I'm waiting, he's waiting to get enough to do his thing. And then the other thing in my listing in Calabasas, while she is my friend and someone I know and lived in Westwood where I am, you know, told me straight out, you know, I love you, you're my friend. I have a ton of friends that are realtors. And I helped her ex-husband get a lease 4 years ago, and she didn't forget it. Yeah, there was some circumstances with it, he was ill and stuff, but so that's why, so it's about those relationships.
yeah, and so and what's interesting too, so with, we all have different personalities, right? So like Christine is knows God and everybody, right? And she naturally just has conversations with people. She stays on, you know, on social media and and then talks to people. I mean, she just is naturally that way. Right. And then for some of us who maybe not naturally as much of a connector and social like that, we may have to work at it a little bit harder, but you still get the same end result. So that's when, like, sometimes when we go through the personality, the KPA, right, we figure out, we're just like, okay, you may not be strong in this area, but you just have to exert more energy to get you the same results. Right, doing that, but some of us have to exert a little bit more energy to stay in constant contact with our spirit. Some of us just do it naturally, right? Some people are connectors, some people are not. I mean, like if you go try and have a conversation with Christine's like, oh yeah, I know that person. Oh yeah, I know that person. Oh, I can get you that person. Oh, I've been that, you know, it's just like, that's awesome, right? So she's an amazing resource. right? As a connector. Some people are, some people aren't, some people are halfway, it doesn't matter, right?
I'm
So
gonna add something to that too about people that don't, if you don't know, I grew up out here, so my kids, I raised my kids, so I have a lot of community here that knows me. What I was saying is, I think there was a shift in my mindset when I said, became like, I'm a realtor. Like, there's something about that, because I came from another career, even though I had my license, so I came from a completely different career. And I was so awkward about introducing it, and I didn't want to be like, oh, I'm in, used car salesman, like I'm having to have a sales conversation. But once that clicked in my brain, it's coming from a different place. So now people are like, oh, Christine, oh, she's that realtor, like, that's who they identify me with, because that's what I identify myself with, and there is a strong sense of that, and when you talk, then it just becomes second nature. You're not forcing yourself to have a conversation, you're not, somebody asked you, and then once they find out you are, they were gonna ask you, what's happening in the market? Oh, what's happening? And you have to read those things, you don't have to know every single thing about mortgage, you don't have to know every single thing, but have it on the conversation that you can have a conversation.
Know the highlights.
Yeah, know the highlights, and just say, you know what, I can set you up at the lender, blah, 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 whatever it is that you wanna say. But it's a mindset change, I think.
hold on, someone's about to be towed. Who has a Toyota Camry? It looks like it's gray. License plate 8HOL 190.
Yeah, but it's you.
It's not her. It's not her. I'm going to the bathroom. It's not me. Is it her?
No, no, shut up.
She has a Mustang. Yeah, so if that's yours,
Say goodbye. She said she's gonna. Yeah, not her.
yeah, so I'm just, you're warm, okay. Thank you, Brenda. Okay. Yeah, so the fall cleanup, winter renewal, spring, summer explosion. So the next part of it is fall cleanup. Okay. So let's move on. Keller Williams School of Real Estate. Make sure you contact Bree if you know of anyone that wants to take the free courses. Also, if you guys do not have your login for Michael Lewis Marketing Suite, please get it. There are amazing, amazing tools in there. Oh yeah, happy hour, which is Thursday at Fogo de Chao in Woodland Hills. So hope to see everyone there. As a reminder, I pay for the appetizers, you guys pay for your drinks.